If you're a handmade business that's struggling to get your Instagram content seen, then watch this video. Today, I'm breaking down the Instagram algorithm, how it affects your posts, and my top 4 tips for making the algorithm work for you. Hi, my name is May Pak, and I help makers, artists, and designers make a consistent income from selling their handmade products online. Okay, I know that algorithm sounds like a scary word, but it's actually something that we need. First, let's start by breaking down what an algorithm actually is. Basically, an algorithm makes sure we don't get completely overwhelmed as users. So I follow a couple thousand people on Instagram, and if I saw every post from every one of those people, my mind would explode, right? So what Instagram does, along with most social media platforms, is screen the post so that the user is seeing more of what they want. They want users to be happy because happy users stay on their platform for longer. And it makes sense, right? But we just have to make sure as business owners that our content is in that mix. So how does it work? The algorithms are always changing and we can't possibly know everything about them, but the basics have always been the same from the beginning. When a user shows interest in some content, the algorithm takes note of it. Its goal is to show that user more of that kind of content. Now, Instagram can't tell that that's a photo of a dog or your house or something in Germany or whatever. All it can do is use the information that you put in. So what kind of information is that? Well, it knows who the post was from, it knows the location tags, it can see the hashtags, and so it's using all of that information. So it might be saying, oh, May's liking posts from her friend Stacy. I'll show her more posts from Stacy. Or it might say, oh, May likes the hashtag maker's gonna make hashtag, so I'll show her more of posts that use those hashtags. It's taking notes on the stuff that you like. It's also looking at the stuff you comment on and also how long you spend looking at an image, even if you don't like it or comment on it. Because sometimes you're like, I've never even liked any of these posts from this person, but they keep showing up. Yeah, it's because you spent longer lingering on those posts. Don't worry, we'll talk about this in a second. But it is important as a business owner to use hashtags, location types, and anything that helps tell the algorithm what you're posting about so that that information can be shown to more users. So you might be wondering what the algorithm means for your business. This is the $1 million question, isn't it? This is where it gets tricky. So, like I said, the algorithm is tailored to help normal people use the app and be satisfied while using it on a daily basis. It's not really targeted at helping us promote our products, and to be totally honest with you, it's not very happy at all when we just promote our products. What Instagram would love is for you to be buying ads so it can make money off of you. So we need to do our best to engage with Instagram users like a normal person and to have users liking our stuff and commenting with us as if we're their friends. So we want to be using engagement-based marketing, which basically just means that the users engage with our brand like we're just another person. Okay, so here's an example of how it works. Think about a grandma liking a photo of her grandkids, right? The algorithm is going to show her every single photo that her daughter posts, and the grandma's going to like them every single time. And then Instagram's just like, yep, those two people are besties. They are always liking each other's stuff, right? And so we want to be so engaging and so captivating that we're providing that kind of content for our audience. That's the goal, okay? So how can we succeed in doing that? I have a few tips for you, so let's dive into them. Tip number 1, post engaging content. I know that doesn't sound groundbreaking, but it's true. As handmade businesses, we need to be posting content that our audience finds interesting. And this is going to depend on who your audience is. Remember that you need to be posting content that your audience likes, not necessarily what you like or the content that someone else's audience likes. Use your Instagram insights to evaluate which posts are getting the most likes and comments. Then post more of that kind of content. If you find that a certain category of posts, for example, quotes or work in progress photos, aren't getting the same amount of engagement, then pull back on how many of those you post, right? So one way in which this plays out really easily for most of us is lifestyle photos. These tend to be a lot more engaging than white background photos. And because they're showing an item in action, it doesn't feel like the user is being promoted to for a sale. It's more authentic. Having said that, just do your own testing, because for my jewelry business, photos of my jewelry on a white background, or say in my hands, like I'm taking a selfie, where it looks like a very low production photo, both of these actually do better than photos of my jewelry on models that's considered lifestyle photos. That's because my jewelry is so small, and the details of what makes my jewelry fun for other people get lost when it's not a close-up shot of my product. Tip number 2, use hashtags that are relevant and perfectly sized. Okay, so there are 2 parts to that, right? The first is relevance to your ideal customer. You may have read that using the hashtag like pick of the day is what all the cool kids are doing, but if that isn't specifically attracting your ideal customer, then it's completely useless to you. You are most successful by using hashtags that put your products in front of your ideal customers that you know will enjoy your posts and products and therefore engage with them. Now, as far as size goes, it is best to not use hashtags that are huge, like for example, hashtag fashionista, or something that just has millions and millions of posts in it. You also don't want to use something that's just itty bitty, super teeny tiny, like hashtag May loves hiking, because no one is searching for that. So my rule of thumb is in the 5 to 6 digits. I mean, there's no real perfect number. It's all relative, and it really depends on your niche and if you can compete in larger hashtags. You want to pick hashtags you can win in, right? But generally speaking, something that's in the tens of thousands, maybe the low hundreds of thousands number of posts are great hashtags to be using. To find out how many posts are using a particular hashtag, just search the hashtag in Instagram and the number of posts will pop up in the search bar. These mid-size hashtags are the ones where your post has 2 important features. 1, it is likely to be seen because there are people searching for it, so don't go with hashtags that are too tiny. And 2, it's not so big that your post is going to get completely lost, right? So these mid-size hashtags are also places where you will have a good probability of becoming one of the top posts. And that's a goal you should have, especially if the hashtag you got top posts for is not so competitive, because that means you'll hang around there in the top posts for a while. And that's one great way people will find you and get more followers and hopefully more sales. Tip number 3 is also about hashtags. I encourage you to find a core set of hashtags. So let me give you an example. Let's say my account is all about a day in the life of May. And in the morning, I post about my breakfast, and in the afternoon, I post about my new running shoes. Then after dinner, I post about a hockey game that I liked watching. And along the way, I researched the hashtags for breakfast and used all the right cereal hashtags. Same for lunch and dinner. What's Instagram going to think about my account? The truth is, Instagram's not going to love my account because I am not the best running shoe account, I am not the best cereal account, I am not the best hockey account. It looks like I'm just posting random whatever, right? I can't compete with someone who posts only about running shoes. I can't compete with someone who posts only about hockey. So my account has no direction. And I see people with their businesses doing this. It's not as obvious looking at this, but here's how it looks for a lot of businesses. So let's say you make jewelry, and one day you post about a big statement piece. You use the hashtags statement piece, acrylic rainbow, and hashtag bird because it has a bird and rainbow on it. And all of these hashtags are really about that one piece of jewelry, right? Then the next day, you're posting about this blue dog necklace that you made. Okay, so you use hashtag blue dog, hashtag corgis, and all of these related hashtags to that specific necklace. Well, from Instagram's perspective, that looks the same as the cereal, hockey, and running shoes example I just gave you. It doesn't know that all of these things are something that like a cool mid-20s person in an urban environment would want to wear it. It can't tell unless you explicitly tell it this is what it is. So what I like to do is identify a core group of hashtags that you're always using consistently. So this is an example where you may want to use bigger hashtags and make a core set of hashtags, like 10, 15, 20 of those that you use on a lot of your posts. Obviously switching some in and out from time to time, because you don't want to look like your account is all over the place, right? That is the moral of this tip. I have a core set of hashtags for each of my accounts, and they're all different. And I like to save them in my Instagram scheduling app, whether that's Later or Planoly, whatever you're using to organize and schedule your posts. So save them in your app so it's easy for you to add to your post and it can help you stay consistent. Tip number 4, which is crucial to using Instagram successfully for your business, is to go out and engage. Instagram is tracking everything about you and every action you take on their app. It knows how often you log on, and it can tell how much time you spend on the app. And even though we don't know 100% for sure how it all feeds into the algorithm and what actions and behaviors have what weight when it comes to the algorithm, we do know that it does count. And so if you just schedule some posts, set it up, and never look at it again, Instagram can tell, and it's going to affect how the algorithm ranks your posts. So log in and engage with people. This engaging is the way people know you exist, right? Like if you had a store and you didn't put up a sign or go out and say hi to people and never told anyone about it, how would they know about you, right? So you go to Instagram, log in, and hop around a little bit. Leave comments on people's posts, like their posts. Not only is that introducing yourself to your neighborhood, and at the same time, those people will take notice and wonder who you are, and the people who are interested might click onto your profile, go to your feed, notice that you have really great pictures, and then start to follow you. The more that you can behave like a real person, like chit-chatting with another person, liking content, then the more favorably the algorithm will treat you, because the algorithm's ideal fantasy is that you're on for like 6 hours a day on Instagram. Now, I don't recommend that because that's not an efficient use of any of our time. But from a business perspective, if you can spend 5 or 10 minutes on when you're doing something else, just flicking through, liking posts, leaving a few comments and on relevant posts, then that's just going to really help with building up really great engagement for your brand. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed those few tips about how you as a business can crush Instagram and make some sales for your shop. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel for more handmade business tips. Don't forget to stay on to watch this next video on the screen.